Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist balled. I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They gon' knock him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up, right? No, we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride. You do better keeping it quiet. My pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened. I like who I am, but I'm biased. The palette is right, and my drip is a fountain. I'm not like these regular guys. All of that talk is misguided. She like the way I make the tape print, but the way I make the words play is grim. I'm the reaper reaching for the kill switch, the label cut the check like the bladesman. Something sparking where his brain is. The beat is somewhere where they prayers in. Geronimo, the way I make the bass jump when no parachute is tasted.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Arizona, ASAPians, how are y'all doing today? Man, great week. Today, ASU kicks off their football season against NAU. Should be a great game. Last time ASU played NAU was 2016. They played them in Tempe. They beat them 44-13. So, you know, just basing off of our previous meetings, that sounds great. You know, we were successful in our home opener last year, beating Southern Utah 41-14. So, I mean, it's setting up for us to, you know, have a gimme here. We need something a little bit easier going into the season with all the changes we've had. The transfer portal has not been very kind to us this year. You know, just so many different changes, you know, going on in the off season. I hope that we can come out, get this one out, not struggle too much, showcase our offense a little bit, especially with all the changes again that we've seen, and kind of go from there. You know, one of the major changes we're seeing is, or we're going to see here, and one of the biggest questions we have as ASU fans going into the season is Emory. We lost Jaden Daniels. Obviously, we lost Jaden Daniels to LSU. That's definitely going to be a question and something that's going to remain on everybody's mind until we do see Emory get at least 1 or 2 games in and see what we're dealing with Emory Jones. You know, there's been a lot of buzz about the Jaden Daniels thing. Been a lot of talk. You know, it's a bad look for ASU. It's you know, horrible for our recruiting going forward. A lot of people are saying that Herm Edwards needs to be let go. There's a lot of things that are swirling around. One thing I will tell you is, from an optimistic perspective, if Jaden Daniels goes out and performs well at LSU, to me, that's a good thing. To me, that shows that we have great talent and we recruit great talent here at ASU. We're able to, you know, bring in high caliber players. Now, again, yes, he did into the transfer portal. Yes, he did end up at LSU, which most consider a much, you know, more prestigious school than ASU is, which can't really fight that. You know, just looking at their opponents, where they've been at in the college playoffs over the last couple of years, that's a very, very strong argument. Now, on the flip side, looking at ASU, you know, I have to take a step back and look at, you know, college football as a whole this past year. And that transfer portal was, I mean, there were some teams that did benefit from it. And again, Jaden Daniels went to LSU after them having the year they've done since Joe Burrow. So, you know, there is that. At USC, got Williams over there from Oklahoma. I mean, there's a success and a fail on both sides of the fence with the transfer portal. That's going to be something that we're going to have to deal with and see how that's going to be handled going forward, year in and year out, you know, with all the changes that have just been made. So let's kind of break it down, look at what we're dealing with coming into week 1. So we have Thompson. Brian Thompson is playing our wide receiver X. Elijah Badger is going to be our Z, and Giovanni Sanders will line up at the H. Now, this is going to be another group that we're going to look at and have some questions at as how they are going to perform going forward. You know, again, these are all returners. These guys were here last year. Hopefully, they don't miss a beat. We do got Charles Hall, Cam Johnson, both senior transfers coming over. So, that should definitely be something as well. Let's see who else we got. Right guard, Chris Martinez, Des Holmes at right tackle. Two new guys on the offensive line that just were transfers over here. Let's see. Then we talked about Emory Jones at quarterback, Valladay at running back as well. So that's going to be another thing that we're going to be, looking at. Another guy that was a transfer in is Messiah Swinson. I'm going to be watching him. Joey Ramos, who we also had on the He's on Fire podcast when he transferred over. We're going to be watching him. It looks like he's going to be sliding in at both on the right side at guard and tackle throughout the season, according to the depth chart. And then switching over for our defense. I mean, besides Chris Edmonds and Ro Torrance, our corner and one of our safeties out there, everything looks, familiar. We still got Cooper. You got Connor and Kyle, both middle and weak side linebacker. Like I said, Anthony Cooper at DN, Norman Lott, the D tackle, Pesifea is at nose tackle, and then Joe Moore on the opposite end at DN. We still got Mark Ham at safety, Ed Woods playing the opposite corner, and then DJ Taylor back there as well. So, I mean, really, most of our questions are gonna lie on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we do have 4 starters that are brand new. Again, we got some other guys that I'm gonna be definitely watching for to get mixed into the rotation. Joey Ramos on the line, Messiah Swinson at tight end, Cam Johnson and Charles Hall at the wide receiver positions. I do want to see them get worked in and see what's goes on there. We also had Carter Brown come in as a transfer for our place kicker as well. But with that being said, it's definitely a big year for Herm Edwards. I believe that it's going to say a lot in these first 3 or 4 games on the schedule as to the type of season that we're going to have going forward. We play NAU, and then on the 10th we have Oklahoma State. After that, Eastern Michigan, Utah, USC, and Washington before we have a bye week. I mean, so right out the gate, you see Utah, you see USC, and you see Washington. It's really going to put us to a test. It's really going to put Emory Jones to a test. It's really going to show us what this team is actually made of and what to expect going forward. By October 10th, we were either going to be, really beat up coming out of USC, Washington, and Utah, or we're going to be in a really, really nice position. To end the year, we close out. We got Stanford, Colorado, UCLA, Washington State, Oregon State, and of course we close out with Arizona State in Arizona at U of A. So that's going to definitely be a very hard road to close out on. So these first 6 weeks of the season are going to mean the most for us, or that back end stretch won't even mean anything. We won't even make it there. So it's definitely something that we're going to have to watch out for. We finished 8-5 last year, tied for second in the South Conference, and for Herm and what we expected from Herm coming in, that's not what that's it should be a disappointment all the way around. So we're looking for him to step it up. We're looking for the team to step it up. And I'm looking for a big game from Emory Jones today to really showcase his skills and show that he does belong here at ASU, manning that position. So I'm excited. I'll be there this afternoon. Hopefully I'll catch a couple of guys in the locker room after the game, get a couple of conversations in with Emory, hopefully I can catch Herm, ask him a couple of questions as well. But switching gears, switching over to the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals did release their 53-man roster. There were, I want to say surprises, but some things that we expected, and then some things, not really too many splashes, just to be honest. So looking at it, of course, we got Kyler, James Conner, D Hop, Marquise Brown, and AJ Green to round out Zach Ertz at tight end. Our line, we got Will Hernandez. It will be playing right guard. Kelvin Beachum will be at right tackle so far coming into the season. And then, of course, Hudson, Pugh, and Humphreys. The starting lineup, besides Marquise Brown and Will Hernandez, looks exactly like I would expect it to look. Coming out of last season, I didn't expect too many changes along that offensive line or in the offense side of the ball, period. Especially after splashing with Marquise Brown. I think that we went all in on that to improve it. It's the second lineup and the rest of the offense that really is what rings bells. I think this is one of the first times coming into the season that we've had such a stacked offense as far as depth at almost every position. We went out and traded for Corey Ford to solidify what we needed from that offensive line to be able to that versatility we needed to slide people back and forth and be ready for injuries. We still got Joshua Miles, who's starting this year in IR. You still got Josh Jones. You got Sean Harlow. You got Marquise Hayes, who's also starting on IR. So I think our offensive line, depth-wise, we've done a lot. It's going to be, leaps and bounds better than what we were dealing with last year. It was like every time we turned around, a guy goes down, and we feel like, hey, what's up, Evan? About to get that ASU thing going. We can't wait for this week to start. If you guys don't know, if you enjoy the Arizona sports like I do, Evan here, the coach, he runs He's on Fire podcast. You can catch me on there periodically, but there's a lot of great content on there. So make sure don't miss an episode of He's on Fire. But yeah, no, going back to the our offensive side of the football, I really like the moves that we made on the offensive line. Will Hernandez stepping in there, him and Pugh play with each other. DJ Humphreys is still our left tackle, our cornerstone right now. And then you got Rodney Hudson, which is going to really be the glue. If you go back last year, I think it was week 9 when Rodney went down in the middle of that game. And that was, what unraveled our season to me. I think he missed the next 4 to 5 games after that, and it wasn't the same ever again for us. So that offensive line is very important, especially with a quarterback like Kyler Murray. They, what everybody says, as fragile as he must be fragile, as small as he is. So that's definitely a concern of not only Cliff, but everybody, the fans, and generally that's what the ring is around the league is, if you can protect Kyler, great. If not, we don't know how it's going to turn out. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. They really went out and addressed that. So, it's going to be a next man up type of situation here on the offensive line this year. And I will tell you, if someone's slumping, I see some movement. We got a little bit of depth there to be able to warrant that. So, But moving over to the running back position, we did lose Chase Edmonds this offseason. But again, I'm not too upset. We went out and drafted Keontae Ingram, which will definitely be someone that I'm watching to develop. I want to see how he develops as a player over the next year or two. I don't think he's going to see a lot of the field or any playing time, bearing injuries. He's going to be kind of like what we seen from Benjamin last year. He's going to be used in practice a lot. He's going to get a lot of snaps over there just to see what he's bringing to the table. Maybe throw some different things at the defense as well. But overall, I don't think he's going to see too much of the field. Now, speaking on to Benjamin, that's a guy that I'm really looking at to break out this season and get some playing time, get into the rotation. But the signing of Darrell Williams is going to make that a little difficult. We've seen with Darrell Williams at the combined 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year with Kansas City. We need that tremendously. That's something we were looking at Chase Edmonds for last year, and it didn't pan out. So bringing in Darrell Williams was something that I really, really liked. I really, really, really hope Benjamin gets to crack the field this year a lot more than he did last year. Watching him in preseason, looks like he's ready. Looks like he's reading the defense a little better. His cuts, he's very quick on his feet. I just like Eno. So this is probably one of the deepest running back rooms we've had in Arizona in quite some time. It was hard getting rid of one of them. We're definitely going to see, and again, I hope Benjamin cracks the field. I'm really hoping to see him get some work out there. And then that brings us to our wide receiver room. Again, this offense is depth-wise one of the deepest offenses I've seen in Arizona for quite some time. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown, AJ Green. Then you got Rondale Moore, you got Andy Isabella, you got Greg Dortch, and Anton Wesley when he comes back, who's a big body. And it was really surprising. I take that back. It wasn't even surprising to me. Andy Isabella has been a preseason a Pro Bowler. He's been a preseason Pro Bowler since he's entered the NFL. It's just translating those preseason highlights, those preseason successes into positive plays and positive things in the regular season. And that's always been Andy Isabella's situation. He's always done good in preseason, always done good in camp, one of the hardest workers on the field. It just doesn't translate. And this year, it looks totally different. The offseason, he looks so comfortable out there. He looked like he knew where he was supposed to be on the field, looked like he understood the offense. He was sitting in zones, just tremendous play by Andy Isabella all the way around this preseason. And I'm happy to see him get on the team again. I know he did request a trade. I doubt it's going to go through again. If it does, great. Look for it to be something along the Jalen Rager type of situation, a future fourth and a seventh or a sixth round pick. But I'm hoping we can get Andy Isabella mixed into the offense this year, mixed into the rotation, and just have that extra body. I mean, when you got guys running in 4.4s and 4.3s constantly, and you're able to switch those guys in, it's going to run that defense down. And with guys like Marquise Brown, guys like Rondale Moore, Greg Torch, and Benjamin, Darrell Williams coming out the backfield, that's what we're going to need. We're going to need a lot of bodies, keeping the speed up, keeping that offense attack just keep that pressure on that defense and wear them down. Our tight ends, again, that's another situation where we've never been deep at the tight end position in a sense where our guys can go out and add to our receiving offense, add to what we're bringing on the field as a offensive weapon and not defender. So that's another thing that I'm excited to see. I really want to see Trace on the field. I really want to, or I said Trace, I'm sorry, Trey McBride on the field. I really want to see Zach lined up with, it's going to be to week 7 most likely, but DeAndre, Marquise Brown, and Rondale Moore, or AJ Green, or Greg Dortch, or any of that combination. And then we still got Max Williams, to me, is one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. And last year, before his injury, showed us what he could do in the receiving side of the ball as well. So I'm really excited about our offensive unit. Switching sides of the ball, this is where my question marks lie. This is where things get a little rocky, to say the least. Our defensive line, we are seeing a lot of changes. Our linebacking core, we are seeing a lot of changes. And, without going in on my Cardinals, we don't have a lot of depth on defense. We got JJ, Lawrence, and Zach Allen on the line of scrimmage. Then you look behind them, you got Futu, Dodgeby, and Jonathan Ledbetter. But Dodgeby and Futu, I got faith in them. I got faith that they can come in, they can come out, they can get in the game and make some things happen. We did see some highlights from them last year. Hopefully, being more involved in the rotation, they'll be able to catch a little bit more momentum and do what they need. Then you move over to our linebacking core. You got Gardeck, Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons, and Marcus Golden. So Zaven Collins, a lot of this is going to depend on Zaven. If we can't get what we expect out of Zaven, we're going to have a long year on defense. Our corners are not the best. We've already experienced that. Last year, we're not the deepest at the corner position. We got Marco Wilson, and Byron Murphy is now taking over that number 1 spot, which I have a lot of faith in Byron Murphy. It's just, is he a number 1? Is he a better slot? We're going to figure that out really fast this year. Our safeties, to me, we're really, really deep at the safety position with Buddha, Deontay, and Jalen. So it's really going to come down to Zaven and Byron Murphy and Marco Wilson, and then you got Zach Allen and Gardeck. I'm not too concerned about Zach Allen. I'm not too concerned about Gardeck. I like their motors. I like what they do. We're going to finally get to see them as an every down, linebacker and every down end to see what they can bring. But if they're bringing the energy they were bringing, when they were coming in playing, 30%, 40% of the snaps at times, then we don't have anything to worry about. But again, Zaven, he can't be missing reads. He can't be missing tackles. He can't be overrunning plays. And that's the thing that we were kind of still seeing a lot in preseason. Even in the last game, we did see him get in the backfield. He did have a couple tackles for losses. Looks like he read the plays a little bit better. But I just need to see more out of Zaven, this year. And we as a whole, our defense as a whole, needs to see more out of Zaven this year, because he's really going to pilot what we can do. I mean, Isaiah Simmons is going to be like a chicken with his head cut off. He's going to be all over the field. He's going to be making plays at every level of the field, every level of the defense. So we're going to see, again, our eyes are on Zaven. It's almost like we were back in the Hassan Reddick situation, all over again. But I think it comes down to what Zaven does with this defense in the middle of the field. So, again, getting close to game time here, fellas. I'm going to go ahead and cut out. We'll probably be here Sunday next week. Actually, we'll probably do a pregame for the ASU game next week again, and then be back Sunday for the Cardinals home opener against Kansas City. We might have Darren Smith on. We have to talk about that. He'll be in town. We'll be meeting up with him. So, keep a lookout. Everybody that tuned in, we appreciate it. Click a share, comment. If you haven't, go to YouTube. Please subscribe and follow. And we appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys soon. All right. Till next time. And next time when we see you guys, we'll be talking about 1-0 ASU Sun Devils and then the Cardinals season opener. But we'll see you guys soon.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist balled, I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They gon' knock him, tell him fess up, I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless, yeah, I got next up, right, now we not the same, cause see when I look in your eye,